What's up, everyone? Welcome to Tasker's Barbecue Supply. If you want to learn how to make an amazing filet mignon, you've come to the right place. We're going to be showing you how. Hey everyone, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of our subscribers and all the people who watch our videos. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you drop down here and hit that subscribe button in the bottom corner so you can help out our channel. We've also started a Patreon account, and all the proceeds from our Patreon account will go to funding our YouTube channel and our competition barbecue team. The link for our Patreon account will be in the description below. So remember, smash that subscribe button and let's get rolling into the video. Alright everyone, let's get started on these filet mignons. Now what we have here is both of the filet mignon tenderloin steaks that we got from Crowd Cow recently. Here we have one that is 0.52 pounds, and here we have one that is 0.48 pounds. So they're basically half a pound each. They are cryovac, and they did come frozen. Obviously, we let these thaw out in the refrigerator for a couple days. They're completely thawed now. We've let them come up to room temperature. So now we're ready to get these open up and get some seasoning on them. Now, if you're interested in trying any of these steaks from Crowd Cow, we'll leave our Crowd Cow coupon code below in the description. You click on that link and it'll give you $25 off your first order from Crowd Cow. So, I don't think I'm going to need to trim any of these, but I have a knife here just in case I do need to trim any of them up, and obviously to help me cut the packaging open. Because most of all the steaks that I've gotten from Crowd Cow have been excellently trimmed. You can tell that somebody is very well trained, whoever is trimming these steaks up. They do a very good job with trimming. You know, you don't get a whole lot of excess fat or any, sinew or any of that kind of stuff that you just unpleasing. You can see here, I don't think there's going to have to be any trimming on that one right there. Set that one down, get rid of this. Let's cut our second one open here. All right. And this second one here looks amazing. Again, no trimming necessary on this one. It's perfect the way it is, so we won't have to worry about that. So it's hard for me to give a super good close-up right here. I'll try to get some pictures of these here in a minute. But as you can see, they have nice marbling in them. They're a nice size medallion steak here. They're not real tiny or anything. They're pretty darn close in size and everything. Obviously you can see one slightly bigger than the other, but that's okay. The marbling and everything in this one's just amazing. It's very, very tender. So I have some really good high hopes on these. I've never had anything that's bad from Crowd Cow, so I doubt we're going to start today. So for simple seasoning on these, I'm not going to go anything overboard. I'm going to start out with a light coat of Keller Hogs AP rub. That's going to give us our salt, pepper, and garlic base. And then I'm going to go over top of that with a little bit of Weber's Savory Steakhouse. I really like this seasoning for simple steaks. It just gives it a good flavor. So this has some ingredients of sea salt, dried garlic, sugar, spices, dried onion, chili peppers, red peppers. So it gives a little bit of a kick, nothing overbearing, but it gives it a really nice flavor, and I like that everything is very, very coarse because I like having that texture on top of the steaks. So we're just going to give all these a light coat of AP rub. And obviously with these being as thick as they are, we are gonna have to season all the sides independently. These are pretty thick steaks. So we're gonna have to go through and season all the sides because we wanna get that flavor everywhere. Alright, and then we're going to come behind that with some of this savory steakhouse. And like I said, this is pretty thick, so I don't have to do a whole lot on there. Just to get a little bit of that, a little bit more. And then press that in so it stays in real nice. And as you can see, as chunky as this is, it's going to give us a really nice texture on these steaks. Now obviously there's several different ways of doing filet mignon. A lot of people like to pan sear it, just do it real hot on the outside and leave a nice rare inside, which I do like doing that. That's a really good way. You can smoke them. The only thing I will tell you is, obviously, as thick as these are, to get your temperature on the inside doing it smoked, it's going to take a long time. And what you'll end up finding is, not that you'll dry out the outside of the steak, but what you'll come to find is that you have gotten a bit of a harder crust on the outside of the steak from letting it sit in the smoke that long. To some people, that's okay. For me, for a filet mignon, I don't like doing that. Usually what I'll do is I'll either do a hot fast method, so I'll crank the smoker up 300 degrees or so and get some nice smoke on it, and then sear it off at the end in a reverse sear. But today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to put these on our Napoleon grill, and I'm going to kind of do them a little bit low and slower, so it's not going to be a super hot fast grill on the normal grilling, but we will have some smoke in there, and we'll show you how we do that. But what we're going to do is, after we get those almost up to temperature, we're going to do a reverse sear on the Sizzle Zone on the side of our Napoleon and sear these off. And I think it's going to be excellent that way. So it'll be a little bit quicker than smoking them, but we'll still get a little bit of smoky flavor on top of it, nothing overbearing. And it won't dry out anywhere. And then we'll do a reverse sear to sear these things off and get a really nice, caramelize all of these seasonings on the outside of it. And I think it'll be excellent. So we're just going to let these sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Let these seasonings, re-moisturize, get soaked in, let that salt pull some of the moisture out of the meat, and then we will meet you out at the Napoleon once we have it warmed up. All right, everyone, we're out here at our Napoleon Prestige Pro 665. Sorry if you get a little bit of smoke rolling through there, if you can see that on camera. We have our Green Mountain Daniel Boone warming up over here as well. We're doing some other stuff in it. But we have our Napoleon warmed up here. As you can see, we have two of our burners on. And we're going to go ahead and put these filet mignons on here. Now, I told you we're going to get a little bit of smoke into this too. And we're doing this on a gas grill. So the way we're going to do that is, my Napoleon has a pull-out smoke tray. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to load this up with some smoking chips. It's got its own burner. We're going to kick that on. We're going to wait till it warms up and starts producing a little bit of smoke. And then we're going to turn that burner way down and just let the heat smolder those chips in there. Now what we're going to be using today is, I have some of Napoleon's wood smoking chips here, and these are their whiskey barrel chips. And when I tell you that it smells like we cracked open a fresh bottle of whiskey right here, it smells amazing. These chips are actually produced from old whiskey barrels. So whiskey barrels that have been through the aging process and now have to be either discarded because of factory purposes, or because certain whiskeys can only be used in a barrel once. They chip those up and it just smells outstanding. So you're getting oak in here, which is really good, and you're getting the flavor of that whiskey in here, which is awesome as well. So I've had these soaking for about a half hour, 45 minutes in some water to get some moisture in them, and we're going to go ahead and load our chip tray up. So all we're going to do is get some handfuls of these here, And we just want to load this chip tray up. Just back there. Go. Now I do have a little bit left over here, which is fine. I'm just going to set them off to the side because if we run out of what's in here, we can always add some more in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and slide that in. And what we're going to do is we'll open this up here. We will kick our chip burner on. We'll ignite it. And it's up and running. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let that burner get that chip tray nice and warm and start letting some smoke roll off here. Once we see that smoke, we'll go ahead and turn that burner down. And we've got both of these other burners turned on the lowest they'll go. Because like I told you, we're going to do these kind of a low and slow, but a lot faster than it would be going if it's smoking. Because we're just trying to get these to an internal temp of probably 100 degrees, 110, somewhere around in there. And then we're going to finish searing them off on the sides to bring them up to about a 125, 130, get them at a nice rare temperature. So you'll see here in just a minute or two. In fact, I don't know if you can see that on camera, we've already got some steam coming off, so it's starting to get warm in that smoke tube. And then, like I said, once it starts getting real warm, we'll get some nice smoke rolling off of that. So we'll be back here in just a moment. All right, guys, we're back. We've let those chips set in there for about 5 minutes and get real nice and hot. And then I went ahead and turned our chip burner all the way to low. So now we just have a nice thin smoke rolling out here. Those chips will last long enough for a cook for what we're doing here. But like I said, we can always add more if we need to. But we have a nice thin smoke rolling out here. I know it's probably hard to see, but when I open this, there's just a nice thin smoke rolling out, and it smells absolutely amazing with those whiskey chips. So we're gonna go ahead and put both of our steaks on here. And like I said, we have all these on the lowest setting. So we're just gonna go ahead and set these in here. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and shut this lid here. I'll go ahead and turn my interior light off for now. And we're just going to let these get a little cooked here. Now we will go ahead and flip them after probably about 5 minutes or so and start checking temperatures. And we'll just go from there on time. We'll kind of give you guys a time lapse of how long it took. And we'll just let those things take on a little bit of smoke and a little bit of heat until we do a final sear on them. And we'll be back here in just a few. All right, guys, just want to give you a little bit of a close-up here of what's going on so far with these filet mignons. Let's go ahead and open this up. You can see they look beautiful. We still have a really nice aroma of that whiskey barrel wood in here, so it smells awesome when you open this grill up. We're going to go ahead and flip these over now so they can get a little bit of heat on the other side. As you can see, they're still plenty juicy. Very tender. So we're going to go ahead and let those sit the way they are now and get a little bit more heat into them, and then we'll be back here in a few minutes to start checking the internal temperatures. All right, our filet mignons have hit the temperature where they need to be, so I went ahead and moved them toward the middle of the grill so that they can stop the cooking process, and I went ahead and turned our burners off. I went ahead and turned our sear station on, and we're getting it primed up and ready to go. As you can see, it's starting to glow orange already. Let's just let those grill grates get hot here for just another minute or two, and we're gonna go ahead and throw them on there. All right, guys, our grill grates are piping hot. Let's go ahead and pull these filet mignons off and put them on the sear station. So we're just gonna take and set them right in the center. And that's what we want to hear, is that nice heavy sear. We'll just get a good sear on either side of those. smell coming off of that right now is absolutely amazing. You can smell all of that seasoning getting caramelized to the outside of that steak, and that's what really makes that nice crispiness and that steakhouse flavor to the outside of a steak. It's a really hard flavor to beat without being able to have a sear box like this and actually sear your steak. Now, since this thing is so thick, I'm probably going to go ahead and sear the sides as well. This is a very, very thick steak, so sear the sides up a little bit as well. And I think that's going to be perfect. As you can see, we have some nice color on that. Not real heavy grill marks on it. I don't like to go super heavy to where it's burnt, but I like to have some nice little sear marks on it, and that turned out beautiful. Let's go ahead and grab our other steak here and do the same with it. These infrared sear zones are just really hard to beat. I mean, the flavor that they add is just tremendous. We actually tried it with some pork chops here recently, and it was outstanding, just adding that little bit of a sear to a pork chop. It was really, really good. So if you're somebody that likes that traditional grilled kind of pork chop or steak where you get those heavy marks on it and you taste that little bit of like a charring where you're getting all your seasonings caramelized on there and almost like a burnt on, basically. You know, a lot of people really like that flavor. If you are, these sear boxes are the way to go. A little bit on this side here. Now obviously we don't have this thing raging as hot as we could. I don't want to burn these up too much because obviously it's a filet mignon. I don't want to ruin it. So a lot of times when I do ribeye, stuff like that, I'll really have it raging, hit both sides, leave some really nice marks in it, but I don't have it super, super hot right now. That's about all that needs. You can see we just have some nice marks in it, and again, that is a beautiful looking steak. Steam rolling off of it, the juice is running out of it. It's just a perfect looking steak. All right, let's get all this shut down. We'll meet you back inside here in just a moment so we can test these. All right, everyone, we're back inside. We've let these steaks rest for just a few minutes, and it is time to cut them open and check them out. So I can't wait any longer. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one in half. So obviously, you know, these are from Crowd Cow. We basically let them sit out and get to room temperature. We took them out, put them on the grill at a very low setting with a little bit of that whiskey wood smoking in the background. Let them come up to just about rare and hit them on our sear box to bring them up just a little bit. And this one here I'd say is a good medium rare, so perfect temperature. I'll go ahead and cut a slice of this off here so we can try it. The seasoning profile is spot on. Gives it a nice little bit of flavor without being too overpowering. It's got that nice mix of salt, a little bit of heat from the peppers. You get the garlic in there. You know, that's a really well blended steak rub that I think. You know, I try to, on something like this, I try to keep the sugars to a minimum and just do mostly like the salt, the peppers, that kind of thing. And this really hit it out of the park. It's a really good spice blend. This steak here is a perfect temperature. It could have stood to be just a little bit more on the rare side, but it's okay. It's still plenty good as far as temperature wise goes. So eat the other piece of this here. That's really good. Let's cut this other one up and see what it looks like on the inside. Oh yeah, this one's perfect. Nice medium rare temperature. Go ahead and flip this over here and we cut a little slice off of it. Because you know we got to try both of them. Very juicy still. I mean, there's just juices running out of that. That is really, really good. These steaks taste awesome. Again, I'm not surprised. Everything I've had from Crowd Cow has been just top notch. But these are really, really good. These probably beat restaurant quality filet mignons any day of the week. Unless you're going somewhere and paying several $100s a pound for it, then maybe there's a little bit of difference there. But you know, you can't go to any normal steakhouse and get something of this quality. And especially the way we take care of it when we cook it. You know, that's another big thing too. And that's why, you know, we take those extra steps to add some flavor profiles and add depth to the flavor. Instead of just throwing this on the grill or throwing it in a skillet, searing it and saying done with it, you know, we give it that little touch of smoke. We do a slow and then sear. You know, just things like that give it a little bit extra depth to the flavor is what really makes a steak outstanding. And this is definitely outstanding. So we're going to go ahead and get wrapped up here. We're going to eat tonight, and I really thank all of you guys for watching and tuning in again. If you haven't already subscribed, right down there in the corner, hit that little subscribe button. You see it? Yeah, you see it. Just hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys back here next time.